Newly released body camera footage of this police shooting shows Daniel Shaver's last moments. Police were responding to reports of a man pointing a rifle out of a hotel room window.
Hands up in the air! You do that again, we're shooting you. Do you understand? Please do not shoot me.
Begging for his life.
Then listen to my instructions. I'm trying to do what you Don't talk! Listen! Hands straight up in the air. Do not put your hands down for any reason. You think you're going to fall, you better fall on your face. Your hands go back in the small of your back are down. We are going to shoot you. Do you understand me? Yes, sir.
An officer then orders Shaver to crawl toward him. Shaver complies, but then moves his right hand behind him despite the warning. Officer Philip Mitchell Brailsford fires 5 rounds, killing Shaver. Brailsford was charged with second-degree murder over this January 2016 shooting. In an interview with police, he said he thought Shaver was going for a gun, saying, quote, "He could have easily and quickly drawn a weapon down on us and fired without aiming, and he could have hit us or the citizen that we had just detained." No gun was found on Shaver. Brailsford was acquitted last week, his defenders saying his actions were justified.
Pretty much every use of force subject matter expert that reviewed this case absolutely said he acted consistently with his training.
On the tape, Shaver is repeatedly ordered to follow officers' instructions.
If you make a mistake, another mistake, there's a very severe possibility you're both going to get shot. Do you understand that? Yes. If you move, we're going to consider that a threat, and we are going to deal with it, and you may not survive it. Do you understand me? Yes, sir.
Despite the warnings he received, Shaver's family does not believe the shooting was justified. Their attorney saying in a statement to CNN, quote, "That's an execution, pure and simple. The justice system miserably failed Daniel and his family." Witnesses later told police Shaver was showing them an air rifle he used in his job exterminating pests. Polo Sandoval, CNN, Atlanta.
I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity. All right. First, I wanted to do a little scriptural overview on this video, right? Of this actually happened in Mesa, Arizona, which is a couple miles east of Phoenix. It's a city out here in Arizona. All right, about this officer, man, who shot this man. You know what I'm saying? And all the details are in the video, man. As you can see, the officer was telling the man to put his hands up. The man was on his knees. He put his hands up, and the man dropped his hands, and he told him, "If you drop your hands again, I'm going to shoot." All right, and then after that, the officer urged him to come crawl his way. So the man was crawling. He had looked like some basketball shorts. So when he crawled, the basketball shorts slid down, and from what it seemed, he looked to pick up, his basketball shorts, so he wouldn't, the shorts wouldn't fall off his body. And that's when the officer opened up on him. But see, that's how Esau, the so-called white man, works, man. You know what I'm saying? All he's about is, screaming at people, killing people, having authority over our people, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. And even though I think the guy that got killed in that video, I think he was an Edomite. He has Edomite features, man. He very much looks like a so-called white man. So I wanted to go into that, man, according to the scriptures, man, and get a little bit of insight on how these Edomites work, man. You know what I'm saying? But first, I want to start off in the book of Matthew 26 and 52. When Yahawashi was betrayed by Judas, the Romans came and they got him. Okay, and then Peter, he jumped up and he cut one of the soldiers' ears off, man. But this is Matthew 26 and 52. Oh, Salaki, I'm gonna go in 51. It says, "And behold, one of them which were with Yahawashi stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear." Oh, so it was Peter who smote off a high priest's ear. Then, and this is the point, then said Yahawashi unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. All right. Now, granted, the police have to use, modern day swords, which are guns. But the thing about it is that, man, you know, a lot of these guys, man, they take that job just to, you know, to kill people, man. You know, a lot of Edomites is bloodthirsty, man, because, you know, their lineage goes back to to Esau, you know, back in Genesis 25, and his blessing was the sword, man, to, you know, to live by the sword. Okay, so this is what's going to happen to these Edomites who live by the sword, who kill, you know what I'm saying, and live by the sword, because that's what this Edomite did. He murdered this man. You know, it's pretty evident, man. The man, he didn't have no weapons. He didn't have nothing on him, man. You know, but the Edomites opened up on him with a high-powered rifle. This is Matthew 26:52. Then said Yahawashi unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Khan. So all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. And who's the number one sword wielder in the world right now? Is you Edomites, you damn devils, man. You know, you white men. Okay, you are Esau. That's your biblical name. All right. Let's go in the book of Psalm 73. Okay. This is a psalm of Asaph, Psalm 73:6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Calm. Pride compasseth them as a chain, man. And violence covered them as a garment, man. So they're all about violence, man. And they're full of pride. That's the MO, man. That's how the white man gets down. That's what he's about. All right. It's not no secret, man. That, you know, the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, through the Spirit we understand these things. So he's full of pride, and violence covereth him as a garment, man. That's all he do, man. Is commit violence, commit murder and bloodshed, man. Okay. And so this is just another example of what he does, and he gets away with it, man. Okay, so the Lord is exposing them, and it's being broadcasted on national TV, man, of what they're really about, you know, how they really are. This is Jeremiah 22, and this is talking about Shallum, okay, who was the son of Josiah, king of Judah. But there's a verse in this chapter, okay, and it basically, it's twofold, because it's, you know, warning the Israelites, but it's also talking about, you know, the wicked, okay, so... Okay, because there's wicked 2/3 Israelites of our people too. We don't only get on the white man, but we get on our people, you know, 2/3 that don't want to, you know, come back to the laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments of their power. You know, who the Bible speaks of, the Hebrew power, which is Yahawah, and his son's name is Yahawashi. This is, and this describes the wicked, man, who in this case is the so-called white man. You know, who get jobs and get in police forces, and who, you know, who join the military and whatnot, you know, because they're just bloodthirsty, and they're full of pride, and they love violence, and they love to be, you know, gun-toting Americans, and, you know, goddamn rednecks is what, you know, if you ask me. You know what? Let me get this real quick in the book of Psalms real quick before I read this in Jeremiah. This is Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahawah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right, the so-called white man, he is the wicked that the Bible speaks of. He is the Lord's sword. What is a sword? A sword is an instrument for killing. That's why the white men take positions of police and military and government officials, because they are the Lord's sword. They're the ones who put Israel into check. You know what I'm saying? You know, by either getting them wrapped up in their system or you know, killing them. That's what the wicked does. They're the Lord's sword. They kill Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Wicked Israelites. Now this man, I'm not defending him because I think he was a Jake. I'm just trying to paint a picture of how the white man is a damn bloodthirsty killer, a murderer. All right. So I'll read it back. Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahawah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right. Cast him down, man. This was David speaking, man. Cast him down and deliver me, you know, deliver my soul from the wicked. And that's what we, you know, we pray for and we hope for, because we're living in captivity. We're living in this land where, you know, every little thing you can get arrested. You know what I'm saying? Pay some fines. You know what I mean? They get all involved in your personal life. You know what I'm saying? They can, you know, make you do classes. They can make you do all kinds of shit. And the bottom line is, if, you know, like the scriptures say, agree with thy adversary, you know, lest he, you know, put you in jail and deliver you to the judge, and the judge casts you into prison. This guy didn't know that. So we know that the Lord has the ability to do that to somebody, but that guy didn't know that. He don't know that the white man is the so-called sword of the Lord. So I just wanted to bring that out real quick. All right, to paint the picture of why there's so many goddamn white people in the police force and in the law. They take in Congress, presidents, especially here in the United States. Well, this is Jeremiah. All right, going back to Jeremiah 22. This is twofold. This goes into the wicked, which is the so-called white man. This is Jeremiah 22 and 17. But thine eyes and thine heart are not but for thy covetousness, and for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it. That's what the wicked is about. Their eyes and their heart are not but for covetousness. And that's the so-called white man. All he wants to do is rape, rob, and murder. Take people's lands, take people's money, always tax you, always bill you, always have you in a state of submission. That's all the white man wants to do. It says, he's covetousness. He wants to take people's land, take people's damn near culture. He wants to take everything from you. Man, if he could, he'd take your soul and your spirit. All right, and for to shed innocent blood, right? And for oppression, all right? He likes to oppress people, man. Put them in jail, lengthy sentences, be unjust, unrighteous decrees, so on and so forth. Murder people. And for violence, okay, to do it. That's what he does. He is the Lord's sword. He's the one that the Lord set up. He's the wicked of the earth that the Lord set up to jack, us up, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and the Native Americans. Let's go back to the book of Psalms. All right, 7 and 16. Let's see. This is Psalm 7 and 16. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. Right. So for what he does, it's not going to be unpunished, man. He's gonna get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? His mischief shall return upon his own head. So the things that he does, it's going to return upon him. And his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. Now I looked up that word pate, and it means the crown of your head. All right, so let me read it back. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. So his violent dealings are going to come on. They're going to come down on his own head, man. It's going to be reversed unto him. What the so-called white man does is, rape, rob, and murder, especially murder, man, because they're all about killing, man. They were blessed with the sword, and they're all about murder, man. That bloodshed is going to return upon them. It's going to come upon their own head, man. Let's jump to Psalms 55 to further paint this picture, man, on this video. So, I saw this video, we brothers was talking about it. I figured, it popped up on my YouTube feed or whatever, and I said, let me do something on this, man. This is Psalms 55 and 23. But thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. We trust in Yahawashi, but bloody and deceitful men like Esau, the so-called white man, shall not live out half their days, man. They're going down into destruction, man. That's why you see the decay of United States. That's why you see Vladimir Putin exposing these devils for what they are, man. Letting everybody know that they're pedophiles and sorcerers. Okay. So this, the Lord shall bring them down to the pit of destruction. They're being, day by day, us bringing out this truth, exposing them. They're being brought down to the pit of destruction. They're going to be destroyed. Thus say Yahawashi, the true God that created heaven and earth, man. So it's going to be, their violent dealings and their actions are going to be brought right back upon them, man. It's going to be returned upon their own head. This is Psalms 11 and 5. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. So Yahawashi, he hates the wicked and the violent, man. The Lord doesn't like that, man. The scriptures say the Lord hates those whose feet are quick to shed innocent blood and to commit iniquity. The Lord don't like that, man. I'm going to read it back. Psalms 11 and 5. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked, and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Right? Scriptures say, Jacob I love, but Esau have I hated. So the wicked and him that loveth violence is so hated. So the Lord hates the so-called white man. He hates when, the so-called white man, kills people like that. Because that's, even though he was set up for that, what I'm saying, the Lord, his creation is of Esau's to dishonor, and he hates that. What I'm saying? He hates what he does, but hey, he has a job to do. He has a job to do, man. That's what he does best. Let him do what he do. That's why it's written, Esau have I hated, man, because he's created to do all this mischief and this bloodshed, this iniquity and this rape, robbery. But hey, the Lord hates him, man. That's a creation that's a vessel unto dishonor. This is Zechariah 11 and 5, and like I said, I don't think this guy who got killed in Mesa, that was in the hallway, I don't think he was a Jake, but I do think that Esau could have took other measures, but they're so quick to commit violence, man. They're so quick to commit murder. So I wanted to do a little something on it. This is Zechariah 11 and 5. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be Yahawah, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So that's what the so-called white man thinks, man, that that the Most High is lets him do that. What I'm saying? That the Lord's gonna forget. But they possess Jake. They possess us because we're under slavery unto them. We're under tribute unto the so-called white man. And they get away with murder. They hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be Yahawah. So they have sold us into captivity, and they say, oh, the Lord's with us because they're our slaves. The Lord has put them in our hand, which is not true. It's all part of the Lord's plan for us going off and not obeying the laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments. All right. So I'm gonna close it out with this. A short little lesson, man, on these damn devils. What I'm saying? This is Revelation 13. Starting at 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints, man. Right, so you goddamn devils, man. You lead blacks and Latinos and Native Americans into captivity, you shall go into captivity. And you kill with the sword, you shall be killed with the sword. And this is the patience and the faith of the true Israelites. And what the scriptures speak about, this is prophecy, man. What I'm saying? When the Lord comes back, when Yahawashi comes back, which is a so-called black man, you devils are going into captivity. You guys are going into slavery under us, man. Thus saith these scriptures, man. So this is just a little lesson on this officer who shot this man down out here in Arizona. All right, and I hope it was edifying. Until next time I say, Shalom.